There's an old poem from, I think it's Sarah Tisdale, that was called, "How Do I Love Thee, and Let Me Count the Ways." And love is something that we all need. We can't survive without it. And love is something that propels us to do everything that we should do. But in today's crazy world, love doesn't seem to be the thing that's motivating most people. People are full of hate. They're full of negativity. They're full of separating and pulling us apart. Love does just the opposite. Love is a uniter. Love is something that brings us together. And as a family of God and children of the human race, we need to love one another. And why do we need to love one another? Because we need each other. It doesn't matter what color skin we have. It doesn't matter what culture we come from. It doesn't matter what we do that makes us different. Diversity makes us rich. If we were all the same, life would be extremely boring. Diversity is beautiful, and we can learn from culture to culture and from race to race and creed to creed. Because that's what makes life interesting. We don't need to hate. This world is so full of hatred, and it's getting worse every day. And it's because we decided that that's a choice. We can either choose to love or we can choose to hate. We don't have to hate. Hate is taught, and we are the educators. And it's up to us to bring our children up in a loving environment. An environment that's nourished by concern and care and, being hugged and always accepted. Because if we don't accept ourselves as each and every one of us are the fabric of time and space and all of our humanity, then what are we doing here? Love is the essence of all things because God is love. God made us because of love. God is other. And He wants us to be the same. He doesn't want us divided. He doesn't want us pulled apart. He wants us united in oneness and caring for one another. Part of the problem with all the hatred stuff that we have going on in our world today is we don't take time to listen to each other. If we heard each other's stories, we couldn't possibly hate somebody else. There's an old Indian prayer that goes like this: if you haven't walked at least 2 weeks in the moccasins of my neighbor, then you have no right to criticize me because you do not know me. So, and unless you walk in my footsteps, you will not know my story. We all have a story, and our story needs to be told. But if it's falling on deaf ears, we're not going to let other people know what's in us. Or we judge each other by our looks, or by the way we dress, or by the way we talk, instead of looking at the heart of the human being. What's behind all this facade? Because when we come right down to it, we're all the same. We're all broken. We're all members of a society that's looking for some different answers. We're all the same. We bleed the same red blood as human beings. That's why we're all united. We're united because we're all brothers and sisters in humanity. We need to hear each other's stories. And maybe you haven't even listened to your own story. Maybe sometime what you need to do is just sit back, look at your life, and listen to your own story. And then when you see where you come from, then you can look and listen to the stories of others. And it's because we don't listen to each other's stories, we don't know them. And we put them in categories. And we put them in little places that are away from us. And we categorize everything. And it's this class or that class or this place or that place or something. And so, therefore, it loses the individuality of the story of the person. We have to stop classifying people as people, whether they be racist or cultural or religious or any other way. We have to look at people as individuals and judge them as individuals, not as classes. Because until we do that, we're not going to see what it means to be a brother and sister. And we're not going to see what it means to be an image of Christ. And we're not going to see what it means to be part of the family of mankind. Because until we start to put ourselves into the shoes of others and walk in their footsteps, we have no right to judge. So let us learn that we are to be loving brothers and sisters. Listen to your own story, but listen to the story of others. And then you will understand.